Hello, this is Nick with Gypsy ROAMance, and you're looking at Deanna up on the bow. We're coming in from a great weekend out on anchor on our beautiful Catalina 380 Caribbean Soul, and I'm going to be coming in to do a little project work on a customer boat. Um, do a little work, pay the bills so we can go back and anchor out again and try to continue on our little adventure that we got going on. So today I'm going to be sealing the ports on a Maine Cat, ME Cat 38. So here we are. We've made it into the dock, and I'm headed to customer boat. This is, here it is, office for the next couple of days. So these are Bomar hatches, and they've been leaking for some time. You can see they've been taped off and covered up. I've already opened one on the port side. So this trim ring mounts from the outside and through the frame. So to get these acrylic covers off, you just have to take the hinge loose and open the port up. That's the part number there for the port. So you just have to release the hinge, remove the screws that hold that hatch cover on, and it'll come right off. And it'll allow you to get to this aluminum frame that is mounted on a shell to the inside of the hull, which is where this leak's been going on. So a lot of people have been trying to fix these leaks over the years on this boat and around the hatch, and it hasn't really been the hatch that's leaking. It's been the bond between the shell and the hull. So I shortened that. It took a while to get that frame out because it's covered in silicone. But so the frame's out on the outside, and as you can see along that little piece there, that's a trim ring or a shell that hatch is mounting to. So I've got to cut that loose from the hull of the boat and get all the silicone and caulking cleared off so that we can get it all resealed back up. So once you remove that outside ring, you just got to cut this thing loose and scrape it free. That's the shell that I mentioned that I'm trying to cut free from the outside. So once you get the screws out from this trim ring, it's just a matter of cutting it free and getting it to where you can break it loose and not crack it, because there's not much to this piece. It's a pretty flimsy way to mount a hatch, but hey, we're not talking about boat design here, I guess. We're just trying to get this hatch where it won't leak. So cut a bunch of footage out here, but as you can see, I've got this thing removed, and so now it's a tedious process of getting all this caulk off of the hull surface and then the trim ring. And so a lot of scraping and using a couple of different chemicals, WD-40, acetone. Acetone helps break it down some, but believe it or not, WD-40 actually is pretty good at removing silicone. So I did a lot of scraping and cleaning and managed to get these parts cleaned up pretty well. It's pretty critical to get silicone and the silicone residue off of these parts in order for them to bond and to create a watertight seal, which is the whole purpose of this. So here are the cleaned up parts. Did a pretty good job getting these things cleaned up and ready to reinstall. So anytime I caulk a surface on a boat, I tape everything off. For me, it's just a lot easier to keep things neat and clean, and lots of paper towels to keep all the extra caulk from getting spread. Once it starts getting on things, you just got to keep it clean. So I got it all sealed, got it back together. I've got the hatch cover back on. This thing just barely clears, and so you had to be careful when the caulk was wet to let it set up where the hatch didn't open up and get into the caulk. So this outside trim ring or inside trim ring is just mounted from the screws that come in from the outside, so you have to keep that in mind when you're putting this thing back together. So we got all that done, and we did a little water test, let it dry for a couple days, and no leaks. So a successful project on this beautiful boat. It's These guys should have a lot of fun with this boat here on the Corpus Christi Bay, and I think they live out on the island, so the boat's probably going to be going offshore, and this thing will be great fun. I think he said this thing, if I remember right, he told me they did like 38 knots with this thing coming across the Gulf, so it's going to be a fun boat to sail, and a lot more fun if it's tight, watertight and warm and cozy inside. So thank you for watching. Here's some info from the project, so if you have questions or comments, you can post them below. And also, I'll try to do a few more projects as I go along with my business here. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Again, thank you for watching.